Salam jumpa para pemirsa dalam acara Today's Breakthrough. Senang kita berjumpa kembali untuk membawa Anda ke level yang semakin dekat, semakin mengalami terobosan. Ingat, kita melayani Allah yang melakukan terobosan. 2 Samuel 5 katakan itu ayat 20. Nah, bersama kami ada tamu spesial saya yang sudah menemani saya selama 4 minggu berturut-turut. Seorang hamba Tuhan yang membuat saya mengalami terobosan. Jadi untuk Anda mengalami suatu peningkatan di dimensi, di level iman maupun terobosan, Anda butuh seseorang yang mengajarin Anda, membimbing Anda di situ. So, kita welcome tamu kita hari ini yang akan mengajarkan dan memberi konklusi karena beliau akan kembali ke negaranya. Bagaimana menjadi seorang mentor yang memiliki hati hamba. Welcome back, Pastor Naomi Dowdy.
Oh, it's always good to be with you.
Again, as you know, the program's name is Today's Breakthrough.
Right.
So I told my audience that for us to be a breakthrougher, a believer having a breakthrough, we need somebody to lead us the way. Mm-hmm. You know, it doesn't happen because we scream and yell in our prayer meeting or pound the floor, but there has to be a system, a plan. You know, like the last episode you were talking about, Paul never wrote in his letters that he graduated from certain institution or Bible college.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But instead, a name was mentioned.
Right.
Who was the guy behind all the process of forming him, making him, molding him to be the man that God has called him to be. And you know, when he first has that glimpse of supernatural encounter on the straight street. Jesus specifically gave Ananias, come to that man, pray for him until his eyes is open. But then there was a message about the calling of God for him.
Right.
You know, so from the day we got the prophecy or the word of knowledge or the message from God to the day we become the prophecy. You know, as I read through and by your teaching, that you know Barnabas has been very instrumental in him. Somebody believed the ex-murderer,
that's right,
the persecutor of the follower of Jesus became the man. That I mean, when people give up, God never give up.
That's for sure.
You know, God begin to start something that boggles the mind. I mean, our logic, our intelligence just won't cut it. I mean, it cannot understand, cannot fathom the depth, the length, the height of the love of God. But in transforming a being to become the being that He created, like in the book of Genesis, right. just like Christ.
But you can't do that alone. See, Barnabas took Paul, and as he took Paul on a journey, Paul already had knowledge. But he did not have revelation of the God, the Messiah of the Scriptures that he had been
This Barnabas,
schooled in.
guys, that's a great man. That's the same Barnabas that sold his land, his island.
He was a businessman.
Wow.
He was a businessman.
Would you believe it? A businessman mentoring an apostle?
Exactly.
You know?
A man who would become an apostle.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, a call into the ministry. But then Paul was a Pharisee, a priest, wasn't he?
Yeah,
a high priest.
He'd been trained, not a high priest, but a priest.
A priest.
Yeah, but he still that whole honoring, that whole seeing a potential. I would come back to what we were talking, you know, in some of the other programs. That whole seeing a potential.
So if I might cut you a minute, that means the world has the understanding about mentoring.
Yes.
Know? I mean, the sons of the evil sometimes can have. What I'm telling my people is, you see it at the world. I mean, you see the top people like Warren Buffett, Bill Gates that make it. I mean, like the late Steve Jobs. He create a culture in the world.
Right. And people go to Warren Buffett's conferences every year.
Wow.
Try to hear, to receive from him, you know.
So that knowledge, that notion, the understanding that to be a man, a woman of God who speak the Bible from the pulpit is the highest ranking, who all-knowing person is wrong. Because we do learn the wisdom from this, this man.
And here's Buffett.
It's
Now.
yeah,
Here's
Buffett.
And so Buffett he gives his lectures and talks, but then he goes down with eating his ice cream cone, walking among all of the delegates and things that have come, and then he gets out a little ukulele and plays little songs and sings them down with the people.
So realistic, so down to earth.
Very down to earth.
And then here, the holy man, don't do that.
No, because he's approachable. Though Buffett is very approachable. So these are the men and women he's mentoring so that they can be successful in business. Understand how he thinks, how he goes through evaluating, how he chooses various stocks, why he has a certain philosophy of investing and not investing and when to invest, that he's imparting that. And there's thousands that come. I've forgotten the number, but there's many thousands that come every year, not just 5 or 10.
Wow.
They're there by the thousands. And he's running around in between things, after things, eating his ice cream cone, playing his little ukulele down among the people in the display areas, etc. there.
So that picture about being a preacher, being a pastor, a minister of God, unapproachable, untouchable is wrong. Because
right.
Jesus was walking around, sleeping, talking, eating,
picking
teaching,
up children,
picking up kids, and he was surrounded by, he was displaying, modeling a lifestyle with kingdom value in front of the 12 CEO.
Right.
The 12, marvelous apostles to be.
Right.
Wow. And then go back to Barnabas, a businessman.
Businessman.
Saw Paul as a potential.
That was the key, because, and see, here's where the mentor, Barnabas, he saw the potential, he believed in the reality of Paul's conversion.
Right.
Enough that Barnabas risked his reputation to say, Paul, come with me, let's go to the council. I want to introduce you to the council, and I'm going to stand beside you to vouch for you you're not going to find out where they are, secretly take them to prison. You are truly converted, and God has his hand on your life. So Barnabas risked his reputation. A mentor does that.
Wow.
You must risk your reputation on the reality of the potential that was inside that. And so Barnabas did that when he took him in. That was a part of mentoring. It's not just the goody-goody times, but here was a time where Barnabas opened the door for Paul, stood beside him to vouch for the call of God. Paul was able to communicate with the council, and the council then that was afraid of him now blessed him to release Paul in with their blessing to go to the Gentiles, Jews, saying, it's okay, you be a messenger of the Messiah and salvation to the Gentiles. This was outside the realm of Jewish thinking, because the Messiah was only for the Jews. So now they're saying it's okay, God has spoken to you, God has chosen you to be that person. That's where that whole mentoring and then that releasing with their blessing to pursue the call of God, which ultimately ended up in Antioch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's mentoring seen at different levels.
Now, you were mentioning the last time that you were mentoring a businessman. So this story of Paul is like the businessman mentoring a man to be the great man of God. And then he's also very discerning, and we need this kind of business people in the marketplace right now. Definitely. So that's how the fivefold minister need to equip the saints for the work of ministry, not to be a preacher. Nowadays, I'm seeing to be a man of God, all you do is just preach, talk only. But really, there's no touching base, going down, ministering to people.
Well, that mentoring group that I began, as you know, many years ago, and it took us a while to get it off the ground because we could not get this concept across. Finally, it has been taking root. Now it is touching many churches, and these business people are engaged in transformation, where they go into areas, they themselves go in there, they look at it, they teach business principles to help economy get going, and they're doing
instead of just looking for opportunity for investment only.
Right.
There's nothing wrong having an opportunity,
but they're investing.
That's not the person.
They're investing is I invest in you so that you get it. I don't get anything out of it.
Right.
And they're going there.
It's
they're
like what we invest in the NTT village.
They're doing they're working with some villages right here in Indonesia.
Oh wow!
They're doing some things, partnering with someone from that area that is a leader in that area to see certain things happen.
So I told my church member who are career people, professional, business people, I said, you need the gift of interpretation, the gift of vision, the gift of faith in your business area.
Definitely.
Not on that Sunday.
Yeah.
But to get that mind across is not easy. Now, I guess that's the part that we need to do, the mentoring part.
And the mentor, this is where you're so well positioned in God, is because you can mentor not only and according to the Word of God, but you can also mentor them according to proper business principles, where we honor the government, pay our taxes, file proper reports, get the proper certificate. In other words, we align with our government to honor our government, which is taught in the Bible.
In the Bible.
And Jesus said pay taxes. I mean, so we don't cheat on our taxes. Everybody should pay taxes. Individuals should pay taxes. Businesses should pay taxes. Because how does the government provide the roads and the lights? They don't just fall out of the sky. That costs money. To have a transportation system, it costs money. So these are where our taxes are used, and we have to understand the value of paying our taxes. Jesus taught it.
You know that our country do not honor those kind of issues.
Indonesia is improving, though.
Okay.
Let me say, Indonesia is improving. It used to be worse. It used to be worse. But
I heard it's number 5 now.
No, it is.
That means it's improving.
It is improving, and that's good, because you look at the population of the nation, and then you look at the percentage of tax returns that come into the government. Oh, it's it's like you're a small nation,
right?
And not counting farmers and things like that. But that the percentage over the past few years has increased, which to me is good. It is showing that Indonesians are loving their nation enough to invest in their nation. We can talk about corruption. We can talk about problems. They're going to have this.
They're everywhere.
They're going to be everywhere. But we can say, well, look, we for one will not engage in those activities.
But that needs mentoring, Pastor Naomi.
In
the local church.
We should.
How this kind of, because when Jesus came, he introduced the kingdom lifestyle.
Right.
Kingdom mindset. And that's supposed to be our mindset every day, like what you said, 24/7. Not just Sunday, 3 hours a week, but 24/7.
Yeah, but I believe that part of the mentoring is also in mentoring the government. Because I would say to the government of Indonesia, revise your tax system. Because your tax system is so complicated and has so many loopholes for corruption, it discourages people from being honest. So get a good system, get a proper system, and then everybody should follow it, rather than, well, it's too much this and too many loopholes. So that needs to be reviewed. It's like America needs to review their healthcare system. Yes. Well, I won't go into that one, but does it need to be reviewed? Yes. Singapore is reviewing other things. We need to review them and upgrade them from time to time. But that's where someone needs to hear, someone needs to speak in, but then we have to care enough for the people of the nation, for the nation itself, to create an environment for investment, to create an environment as that investment comes, more jobs come, income increases, our young people graduating from university have opportunities. So it's a whole mentoring process that starts with integrity of honesty. So if we are mentored, whether in the church, whether in the mosque, whether in the temple, wherever we are, if we're mentored in good moral values,
That's it.
then the religion is really not the issue.
No.
It's all religions have good moral values. And if we can live live in the land and mentor one another in good moral values, that in itself will set a whole new tone in the nation. But it comes from mentoring it and modeling it.
So, talking about mentoring, I think a lot of pastors need to have that teaching and the experience themselves of having a mentor for themselves.
Which we didn't have.
No.
We didn't have in the past.
So,
it is now happening, but it started more as, again, the business world started getting the buzz of it first.
I didn't start ministry with a mentor, and you didn't either.
No, didn't. And but I saw the need for it because I knew the lack that I had.
Right.
And how many mistakes I made. It would have been good if I could have asked somebody, had somebody I could trust, somebody care. But it just wasn't there. I said, I'm going to do something about that.
Whereas you is like a God-sent mentor to me. Like, I know I need somebody to tell me, but I didn't have a clue about the word mentor and so forth. But, you know, it came with the discussion about what is local church really.
Yeah.
And it really is a place, a facility for mentoring. Rather than just a once a week celebration party kind of a meeting. And it reminds me like all those Jewish children in the wilderness. They always party, you know, and they like miracle. They like to watch miracle. And David says in the book of Psalm, Moses knows the way of God. But the children of Israel only knows the act of God. So, but now Christians are more focused on the acts of God. What can He do more to them? What kind of performance can He do?
There's your word. Because many times as pastors, we want to, what I call, play to the congregation. We want to appease the people and make them happy, because then if I can appease them, make them happy, entertain them, give them what they want, say the things that will tickle their ears, let them, as long as they pay their tithe, put their money in, then it's okay. So I become off course. I get focused on the wrong thing because I'm looking for the crowds. I'm not looking for taking responsibility to them. As long as they come, as long as they put in their money, then I don't care what else they do. And this is where we need a refocusing, that it's not about us. Jesus disciplined. To be a disciple is to be disciplined, to have our character changed, to have it transformed. But as we mentioned in one of the other broadcasts, is that unless I have that relationship with God and that revelation that will change my motivation for why I do things. Because am I mentoring you because I want you to be attached to me to do what I want? Then it's wrong. I'm mentoring you to me rather than mentoring you to God. So that gets it out of focus. And so, but if I have not been mentored, then I may be afraid that once I see you rising in your potential, you can become a threat to me. Because now you're getting good, you know, you're becoming better, more proficient. And now people will be attracted to you rather than to me. Then mentoring has that danger, because your mentoree, the people you're looking for, should rise to another level. And
closer to God.
Closer to God, not just to the person.
Yeah, it's all about God's word rather than me word.
Yeah, but that comes back to authority. You see, if I don't know the authority I walk in, then I can abuse that authority to become controlling, rather than knowing that the authority God has given is not to rule and reign, as Jesus says, Don't rule and reign over them or lord over them. But that we come to that place to where I know the authority God has given me. Now, because I know that authority God has given me, I can delegate, I can release that authority now to you. But many have not come to realize, even in our own homes, we don't realize we walk in an authority. That we walk in an authority that allows us to release people to become their fullest potential. That authority in them can be increased because we take the lid off. Yeah. And they are secure because they have a covering of authority over them, which allows them to function. Cornelius, I'm a man of authority, of under authority. He understood authority, and Jesus marveled at him. Hey, so much faith this guy's got. Faith, he said faith. And yet he was talking about authority. And yet Jesus linked it to faith. I have not found such faith in all of Israel. Among all of the religious people, I have not found so much authority and faith in it. Now, that authority, look at this. Let's try to put this down. He was a centurion, a soldier. Okay, we have a general. A general knows he has authority. Where does he get that authority? From a higher authority. From the government, the armed forces, gives him a certain authority. So that general has the authority to release authority to the colonels, the majors. Sorry, his instructions come down. So he said, I understand authority, but I recognize that you have authority, Jesus. It's written all over you. Yes. there's an authority. You walk in the room, there's an authority. When a general walks in the room, even out of uniform, you may not know their rank, you may not know what branch of service they're in, but you know a person of authority has walked in. Every demon in hell knows it too. Because they recognize authority in the spirit realm. But you see, as pastors, many times, because we've been told we're shepherds, and so we can't get out of this shepherding mentality that we are shepherds to the fact that I have authority. So if I do not know I have authority, how can I delegate authority to you that I don't know I have? Yeah. So it becomes difficult. And that's what hinders a lot of it, because in mentoring, part of that is the impartation of that authority. That you were saying in, I think a couple of weeks back, that you felt protected, you felt covered. And that is why, because God has given me an authority. I know that authority, but I do not abuse that authority. I know how to walk in submission. When I'm here in your city, I'm here in this nation, I am with you in varying events. I am in submission to you, because this is your territory, so to speak. Or if I'm with another organization, I'm in their territory, meaning their church or their organization or their business, then I am in submission of them. Because the centurion, I am a person of authority, but I know what. And
I have my subordinate. And when I tell them to go, they will go. When they come, they will come. So there is obedience that comes of honoring authority.
Right. And when you don't, you're out of order. You're out of order. And
this we would like to see in the local church.
Yes.
Many Indonesian churches that I've met, the member call the pastor brother, bro, rather than calling the role or function that God called him to be when he's among these people. But they call it brother, sister, but in a Chinese way, It's like a very family kind of thing. And then I learned during this week that you've been in Jakarta. Okay, from the first day you landed and you talked to me heart to heart about the family mentality, that we need to move to the corporate mentality.
Right.
So I think we need to tell the audience to get your books and material.
Good. Yes.
Untuk semua Anda yang mau belajar, saya banyak sekali mendengar anak-anak Tuhan manggil gembalanya koh-koh, cici, mbak-mbak, mas-mas, itu nggak ada di Alkitab gitu loh, ya. Dan itu kebiasaan kultur kita memang begitu, tapi panggilan gembala, rasul, nabi, penginjil guru itu meneguhkan ke kita. Dari orang ini kita ingin mendapatkan apa? I'm telling my audience, the reason why God gave us title for the fivefold ministry, you know, in English we call it office.
Right.
Now, meaning when we relate with that person, we can expect what can we expect from that person?
That's correct.
Because of that title.
Exactly.
You go to the dentist, you expect to have a surface in your teeth, not in your ear or on your eyes.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So we're not misled. But now this kind of thing is like being erased. It's not important.
That was teaching it back in the 70s that started that downgrade, which is rebellion against authority.
Yeah, and you know, people say, you don't need to call yourself Apostle Indri. You don't need to call yourself Pastor. You know, you just Indri. And I said, look, it's not about earning a title because you don't earn it. It's called given because you're chosen.
Right.
Now, I want it. So that when you meet me, you can expect from Mama Palsa, get the book, what is the definition, what did they do?
Yeah,
you know, there's in this book.
There's another one, the red one.
In this book, and moving on, moving up, and the other book called the commissioning. Semuanya ini ada dijelaskan. Rasul tuh ngapain, nabi itu apa. Jadi kita kalau ketemu nabi, ketemu gembala tuh ekspektasi kita tuh dari orang itu apa, sesuai jawatannya. Oke. Nah, di buku ini Moving On Moving Up 10 prinsip praktis bagaimana Anda bisa naik ke level berikutnya. Seperti saya katakan di awal acara ini, Anda tidak bisa mengalami terobosan kalau nggak ada yang mementor. Di buku kami dalam bahasa Indonesia pakai istilah pembimbing. Istilah yang bahasa Inggrisnya itu mentor. Kita mentori, guru kita tuh mentor. Ini bukan guru sekedar guru Alkitab, tapi orang yang melihat potensial di Anda. Anda nggak lihat, orang itu lihat, dan Anda membangun hubungan yang sehat dan praktis untuk menuntun orang tersebut naik ke level berikutnya. Apa-apa aja yang dia mesti persiapkan untuk bisa mencapai panggilan Tuhan. Nah, karena kita sudah pernah masuk ke panggilan Tuhan, kita bisa nuntun. Nah, di buku ini Anda bisa menemukan mentor tuh sebetulnya ngapain. Jadi sebelum cari-cari hamba Tuhan terkenal, Anda cari definisinya dulu. Mentor itu apa dan ngapain buat Anda. Ini buku komplit sekali menjelaskannya. Kalau Anda bisa pakai bahasa Inggris, saya rekomen beli bahasa Inggrisnya. Ada nomor telepon di layar Anda bisa hubungi kantor kami. Dan miliki buku-buku ini, ada satu seri yang oranye ini bagi mentornya. Apakah mentornya bisa naik lagi ke tempat yang lebih dalam lagi atau mentor bisa belum orang yang total mencapai destiny loh. Okay, in the book Moving On Moving Up from Succession to Significance is that the mentor themselves can come up to the place of significance.
Significance, which you cannot reach until you let go of the past.
Nah, kalau Anda sebagai mentor senior mau mencapai ke tempat yang berarti, Anda tidak akan nyampe ke sana sampai Anda lepasin yang di belakang Anda, kasih tongkat estafet kepada orang pengganti Anda. Seperti Lee Kuan Yew sama anaknya tuh, Perdana Menteri Singapura. Oke? Lee Kuan Yew mundur, kasih semuanya ke anaknya, tapi dia berfungsi sebagai mentor. Orang yang penuh berarti bagi seluruh bangsa Singapura. Oke? Nah, juga buku ini, bagaimana milih mentor, hubungan Anda dengan mentor itu mesti seperti apa. Jangan hubungan yang saling mengontrol, mentor nggak narik ke dirinya sendiri, tapi menarik Anda ke Tuhan yang bikin Anda menerima destinasi dan memanggil Anda. Oke? Saya minta Anda semua miliki buku ini. Oke? Telepon di kantor itu. Pas Anda tadi dengar Pastor Naomi bicara mengenai authority, mengenai Matius 8, the centurion, perwira Kapernaum, oke? Bagaimana waktu dia lihat Yesus, karena dia orang si perwira ini ngerti otoritas. Begitu Yesus masuk, itu Yesus satu ruangan juga tahu ini otoritas yang masuk nih, bobotnya nih. Dan dia berkata, nggak usah doain deh anak buah saya. Berkata saja, maka otoritasmu yang aku percayai akan menyembuhkan hambaku yang sakit keras mau mati loh. Dan langsung pegawainya sembuh. Untuk Anda mengerti itu, miliki buku Watchman nih, bahasa Inggrisnya Spiritual Authority, yang diterjemahkan dalam 2 buku dalam bahasa Indonesia. Oke, ini dari Yayasan Perpustakaan Injil, bagaimana menjadi wakil kekuasaan Allah, dan yang kedua kekuasaan dan ketaatan. Ini sebetulnya satu buku sebetulnya, ya. Dan Anda juga bisa miliki pengajaran-pengajaran saya mengenai berjalan dalam otoritas. Kalau Anda nggak berjalan pakai otoritas, Anda lumpuh. Oke, nah, tapi Anda tidak memakai otoritas mendapat posisi sendiri, tapi untuk mengalahkan kuasa kegelapan supaya kerajaan Allah dapat dimajukan. Oke, now thank you so much, Pastor Naomi. It's been a pleasure. It's been such a blessing. And even people in the studio are very happy to hear what you're teaching. We know it's a never-ending. It's like a vessel that keep on flowing with living water.
It's got to grow, and we can grow, and every one of you can rise to another potential. Get a mentor. If you don't have a mentor, find one. If you can't find one, start asking God to teach you how to give what you've got and invest it into someone else for their potential in God.
Then as they sow, they can reap a
They're
mentor.
gonna reap, that's right.
Sampai jumpa di acara yang sama dalam acara Today's Breakthrough bersama Pastor Indri Gautama. Tuhan memberkati.